I spent a lot of time watching a lot of content though. I managed to get a nice little link for the Fred Hampton film.
Yeah, you sent that to me. I didn't manage to watch it.
Judas and the Black Messiah. I know Vans saw a fair bit of it.
I caught about an hour of it. I'll finish it. At some point this week.
What point, without doing too much spoilers? The thing is, it's not mad spoiler because it's a true story. I know it's not mad too much. We can talk about it without talking about it too much. What kind of bit did you get up to?
He's out now.
Oh, you got to it and he's out?
Yeah,
right,
I got to the bit where he's out.
I'm joking.
So
I got to that point.
Okay, cool.
I think that was.
You still got a good amount to watch still.
Yeah.
But yeah, my takeaways from it were very good film. All the noise pre the film in regards to Daniel Kaluuya playing this iconic African American icon. Watching the film, it's actually not about Fred Hampton.
It's not.
It's more about Willie ONeil, his character who's played by Lakeith Stanfield. He, for me, is actually the lead in this. Like, the opening scene for the film is him.
It's about him.
It's about him, about his relationship, about how he affected change in a very, very negative way. I'm putting
Judas and the Messiah, isn't it? It's there in the title.
It's just there in the title, plain to see. But I don't know how people didn't see it as that obvious, innit? Like all the shouting and stuff. Even though I do understand some misgivings, but like there's still room for a Fred Hampton film. This isn't a Fred Hampton film.
Yeah, but Fred Hampton, his name has always been in the headlines.
Of course.
So it's gonna be, all eyes are gonna be on him, and when it comes to films as well, you think about the person that's playing the most high-profile person, and their performance.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So, what's gonna sell the movie is gonna be someone that's more seen on a movie screen, which is Daniel Kaluuya. He's been in more lead or bigger films than Lakeith Stanfield. Regardless of the fact that he's from the UK and Lakeith is from the US, Daniel has just been more successful in it.
Yeah, but Lakeith ain't far off, you know. In terms of watching him, I think he's a weird Donny off camera, just in terms of like his aura, but on camera.
Oh, it's not to say that it's not to disgrace.
Lakeith Stanfield ain't a little boy for me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm watching this as
acting wise, he's not a small boy.
No.
But in terms of like visibility, Daniel's been in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, he ain't been
He's
in
had
Black
like
Panther,
a big
Get Out, Queen and Slim. Was it Widows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ain't had his moment, but like he's had his moments where like I liked him in Uncut Gems, Lakeith.
Yeah.
You know, he plays the weirdo quite well in it. So it's like, to his credit, I hated the fact I saw the humanity in the Willie ONeil character. So you know the story of like the FBI COINTELPRO infiltrating the Black Panthers. And the character he plays in the film obviously eventually betrays the Panthers, gives them the floor plan of their home. That the historical moment where they come in and it's like 100 shots they fire into the house, and only one was actually fired back, even though they claim more. But it was a massacre, innit?
Was that when?
That's when he actually dies. When in real life, when Fred Hampton died, his actual death.
Right.
It was one shot that was fired from the Black Panthers, whereas them man fired 99 shots. You know, I was able to see the humanity in my man. Of course, you're human, but like, get it to a degree where I'm like, yeah, this is a very troubled individual, a fucking snake to say the least. But Donnie played the role so well that you go through like, for me, I don't know how everyone else was, but you go through. I went through like dips in emotions where I'm looking at my man like, yeah, you fucking bitch, you rat, you coon, dancing for the white man, all this stuff.
Do you know what though?
But then I look, I'm like, there's probably a lot more Willie ONeils out there than they are Fred Hampton.
Absolutely.
Because what's the self-preservation, looking after yourself, because he got arrested for like car theft
and
impersonating like 5 or 6 and impersonating a police officer. Could have done like 5 or 6 years in jail.
Yeah.
And DMX.
And they caught him out and gone, you're dumb, and gone to him. How did you feel when Martin Luther King died? I was trying to skate over it as well.
Yeah,
I was trying to skate over it. I'm sorry. Today's just dumb.
That is dumb.
Yeah, dumb.
Why would you do that? No, but do you know what? Yeah, going back to the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
My first thought when they said 18 months for car theft,
Yeah.
and you're facing 4 to 5 years for impersonating a federal officer. Yeah, I was like, that's like,
yeah,
that is like in a grand scheme of
because
things.
we've got the beauty of hindsight where like, so his worst case scenario was 4 to 5 years in jail. The worst case scenario over here was you infiltrate a movement which is for the betterment of our people and a lot of disenfranchised people, because people, if they know the story properly, like
Yes,
he had the Rainbow Coalition. He was working with different groups. It wasn't just blacks. It was the poor people. He was actually a socialist, isn't it? And there's some other stuff I'm going to get to later. Your selfishness put that fight further back because you couldn't do 4 or 5 years. But at the time, I don't think when they initially spoke to him and like managed to, get him alongside, like, you're going to be FBI informant, he thought he was going to be this. I know that's just me, how I feel.
Yeah.
But bro, you're a fucking snake, bro. Like, you did this to your fellow man, and you actually, because when he's had like it's called Eye on the Prize. It came out. It might be 1990. It was Martin Luther King Day, which is ironic. You have a snitch having an interview released on Martin Luther King Day, where he kind of refers to himself as us in regards to the FBI. Like, I was part of them. Like, bro, they don't like rats and snitches, bro. Like, they were using you, innit? Using you to get to us.
It's a deal.
Because they were so, like, they labeled them like worse than the KKK to, like, like, kind of trump up that public.
Donnie was saying that we're all the same.
Them,
He was like, the Black Panthers and the Klan, more or less the same.
Yeah.
They're about the same things. They were like, and you kept seeing it every time they encountered each other. They had that conversation where he's retelling the officer, like, yo, like, this is what's happened. And he was like, I told you, like, they're not.
Oh yeah,
they're no
better.
better.
Not to be trusted. Yeah, they know better. They're just
so obviously
like us.
that's his tactic of manipulation. Yeah. So he's just like, all right, cool. So you doing what you're doing right here, you're doing the right thing, because look at what you're telling me. Look at what's being done. But he don't know that in this scenario there has to be context, because at the end of the day, we're protecting ours, and anyone that's going to jeopardize that, you've got to go.
Yeah. I wish that they was able to weed them out earlier and just deal with traitors.
And I was watching
it. Deal with traitors.
And I was like, it's so strange, that, well, it's not strange. I know that, there's intended purposes, but when you're watching a film, you're able to detect when someone's being booky without knowing the full storyline. But then you're trying to think of a time where it's happening in real time, that the other person's not detecting that he's being booky. But we as the audience, we're seeing like, rah, just by his mannerisms, he can't be trusted.
But that's still Lakeith's credit though, from his acting. Because I don't have you seen.
No, it's just in acting in general. It's just like from a consumer's lens of how we see things, and how, especially when it's like based off a true story. Yeah. You're like, rah, what? You couldn't see my man was booky. I could see it, but it's been intended that way.
They was like, just move booky now. And then obviously you do.
Stuff, in a script, like, you're gonna have certain
move booky after this.
That there's certain points where like you can see that something isn't right within someone.
Just have a moment. Shout out to actors and that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, man. It's not easy to just go up on, in front of a camera and play out real life situations.
Donnie said he had to go get therapy after that. Like, playing that Willie ONeil character is mad, because Donnie he committed suicide, didn't it? Like, he committed suicide, ran into oncoming traffic. Like, the day that Eyes on the Prize interview come out, where everybody got to see who he was and his side of the story from like infiltrating the movement, he committed suicide. So Lakeith had to get therapy. I've watched interviews Daniel Kaluuya where he talks about how hard it was for him on set. Like, you're playing this role of someone that is a bitch, but you've got to do it well. It's not easy, especially if your politics don't align with that at all. Yeah. If you align more for Fred Hampton, to play someone that was part of his demise,
having to convey that on
and
screen,
convey it well. Yeah, I would. It's not surprised that Donnie had to go and get therapy after. So,
do you man think you could act?
Yeah.
I could definitely body a Nollywood role.
Nah, not that. But
Foles just turned into a pillow mid-argument.
What's going on? Why not that? Yeah. Yes, that, bro. That's how we started. Nollywood.
Yes, that for you. Yeah.
For us.
No, but I do think that I have some of that in me.
Yeah.
You could do some deadpan stuff. Yeah, even how you look right now. Yeah, you could do it. You could pull it off still. Yeah, look.
It's practice.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it.
A bit more multifaceted than that, but yeah, you know, yeah. I know how the game goes.
Yeah, I could see you something.
Would
you
you
rom-com as well?
Would you pursue it?
I don't know. Do you know what? Yeah, self-belief is like a huge. It's a difficult thing for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, when you know that you can do certain things, a few things, but you just don't pursue it because you're afraid of, I don't know,
anything. It could be any sort of.
It's just that self-doubt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But then there's also that element of knowing that you can do certain things. So that's been my issue from childhood.
Mad.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, my parents put me in theatre school.
Oh yeah.
But again, it was just one of those things like, I weren't really on that.
It's mad, bro. I didn't even know you went to theatre school.
Yeah, it was a Saturday thing, but my parents always allowed me a bit of a choice. So they offered it, and I said yes, and then I went. I didn't like it, so they were like, cool, because at the end of the day, they're saving their money.
It's all about the economics, boy.
Like, do you know what I find very interesting about? I didn't know that about you myself. Yeah, is that play a part? Because I know you're heavy on film and acting and that.
Yeah.
But does that contribute to that? Because this, I don't know if you
Possibly.
knew this. Fols is that.
Bro, I'm looking at this nigga different today.
I didn't know that, fam.
Bro, I've had so many different life experiences.
That's dope.
But you may be right in that because, you know,
you're big on film. Yeah, you're big on
You
that.
see what I'm saying? So as I'm sitting there,
I'm
You're
big on
trying to
it.
connect the dots.
Yeah,
I'm big on it, but then at the same time, it's like, you know, you play out certain scenarios and you're like, rah, I could do certain things.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know, I grew up in a vibrant household as well.
Because your dad's into art, innit?
Yeah. So there was just a whole bunch of things going on. You know what I mean? So, and there's a lot of like different types of characters within the household, even within my parents. You know, my mum's a bit of a joker. You know, like this, that, and the other. You know, my dad's into whatever he's into, and then you've got all my siblings who are into different things. And sometimes you don't know the extent of your capabilities until there's certain things that happens that ignites that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's interesting. So when I see film and when I studied media studies at college, and you know, you got to go beyond just sitting there and watching a film. You get to unpack it in different ways or layers.
Yeah.
You have to sit there and
Understanding
analyze.
framing and what.
And all of those things. And, you know, that's when, like, you sit with other people. Oh, yeah, the cinematography is like...
That fucking word, bro. Do you even know what cinematography is, bro? What the hell?
So, like, you know when, like, Malcolm and Marie, like, on
Yeah.
Netflix came out and everyone started speaking about it and, you know...
How well it's shot in one location.
Yeah, it's beautifully shot.
It's fucking black and white, bro. That's it, bro.
But I do understand it,
Yeah.
you know. So, but yeah, in regards to Judas and the Messiah, I think it was always going to make noise because of the profile of the people that are being portrayed and the people who are playing the people who are being portrayed.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like the fact where even without all the controversy, just the fact we're having this story, the film was gonna do what it's gonna do in it.
And Fred Hampton being 21 when he was murdered is insane.
Bro, it starts making you think: do some people have two heads, bro? Like, what the fuck was I doing at 21, bro?
And
Obviously, different circumstances, different contexts, but like. Man, he's forever immortalized in our hearts. Yeah. And Donnie was only 21. Like the child that he had, that's part of the film now, was in the mum's belly at the time. I never got to meet his dad. And like,
he died. His son was born in the same month. He died.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's mad because like I'm watching one scene in the movie, And Adoni's just like there reading loads of books and playing back like Malcolm X audio records.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at 20, 21, I was watching fucking F64 and SBTV.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Get your man that can do both.
Get your man that could do both. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, rah. But these men had a purpose.
Yeah.
And life was very different back then.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of man came up based off the fact that what they've seen maybe like as a 10-year-old and at 20 years old, it's still the same shit. Someone has to do something in it.
Yeah.
And there has to be some bloodshed in it in order to make change.
He spoke about death and not being there. I think like he just knew, which was sad. You know, like I'm a revolutionary. Those speeches that like, and he would talk like he said he would get high. He gets high off the people because he's just big on the people. Like, what was the quote about? War is politics with bloodshed, and politics is war without bloodshed. Basically, like,
yeah, I was alluding to that because like I remember that bit, but I couldn't give you verbatim.
They're just basically saying like this thing is all one big game, but we need to decentralize and start local before we go big. Like, yes, our general election, but like what's going on locally with our community? What's been going on locally with like Borough of Kensington and Chelsea? Everything that's been going on with Grenfell, all the stuff's been swept under the rug. I've still got some of the stuff saved in like my bookmarks and stuff. Like we still need to spin the block and maybe do a whole Grenfell episode to like really break down to the people
Absolutely.
what's really been going on locally, because like this thing's an atrocity and they are trying to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
If we're not careful, they're going to be successful, and that's just something close to home. So when I look at people like that, I'm like, I can only be inspired when you hear the vigor, how man spoke and was only 20 and with bare conviction. Like, he was clear. He even says like, yeah, you can't fight capitalism with black capitalism. So it's the kind of thing I wanted to move on to a little bit, where there was some like, I wouldn't say backlash, but like a talking point around like the soundtrack and stuff. Like, do these artists that they have on the soundtrack kind of align politically with who Fred Hampton truly was? Because you got Nipsey Hussle, Jay-Z, Hit Boy, Nas, A$AP Rocky, Sir,
Black Fort. Who else is on there?
I'm missing someone else. I'm sure I'm missing someone else. But
there's quite a few duds on
there.
there.
There's a lot of people. It's like this kind of maybe possible could be looked at maybe Gravy Train a little bit in regards to the film and the soundtrack. Is it really on point with his messaging, who he was?
Who you gonna get
like,
though?
You've got Jay-Z, that's the ultimate black capitalist, the billionaire, and someone that literally on record, you go watch it on YouTube, says you cannot fight capitalism with black capitalism. You fight with this stuff with socialism. That actually kind of goes against, because we love Jay, it's amazing, but the real truth is, it's a pinch of salt the amount of people that are going to achieve that.
Yeah.
Not because you ain't able, just the way capitalism set up is, we're all trying to be that 1 or 2%, and you're not going to get there.
But ultimately, like, it's entertainment.
Of course. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the
because
of the conversation.
that's where the
definitely
line
happened.
And
is.
nigga, were you not entertained?
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be, innit? They're gonna be like,
and a lot of the people that are involved understands that. That at the end of the day, if we've got to go down certain routes for this to reach whoever it needs to reach, then we need these people a part of this project.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? These are like black artists at the end of the day. It's a black centered film. So we're going to have whoever that we can get. Having like Jay-Z on there is probably a huge selling point.
Yeah, and the verse is cold.
And he delivers. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what can you do? And Donnie's son was a part of the whole process.
That's the underlying thing. Because no matter any misgivings people have, and even if they are justified, the minute you go, his son, the wife, everyone's involved, you kind of have to take sit
as long
back
as
a
the
little
family
bit.
kind of
because if they weren't there, then we can go, you know what, the white man is doing X, Y, and Z. But if the family are there,
you'll want to look for the person that sanctioned this,
you have to
like that made this possible.
But ultimately, anything that's based off real life events, you always want someone to authenticate and be like, all right, cool, I'm okay with this. Like, even if you've done a biography on your life or your life, do you know what I mean? You can't just have like no one that knew you or no one else
playing me in myth. You can't get a Kwame to play me.
I mean,
you crazy?
Do you know what? What if he delivers though?
You crazy?
What if he delivers?
Nollywood, bitch.
This is why like I hate the conversations on what actors can do, because like the capabilities are endless. Like, you can get someone from somewhere that can play this perfectly. Yeah. It's just about casting.
It is, but there is context in nuance. I don't think it's as simple as going, no. And I'm not trying to strike the fence. I understand why.
Yeah.
For like a Fred Hampton, this is an iconic African-American hero. I understand the misgivings and why they feel that way. Even though I'm over here like, yeah, you came to the death of me. We're riding out for Daniel Kaluuya. I do understand where they're coming from.
But then
he
you watch
bodied
it. Yeah, but then you watch it and he bodies it. And it's like, what can we say?
Yeah,
and it's interesting because he had the interview on Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Kaluuya will get the RNA at the end of this, by the way.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Give it that nigga to right now.
But you know, we
for
usually
one
do
thing
RNA
first, for the good skin, amazing skin.
Yes,
I got skin envy from Daniel Kaluuya, amazing skin.
But what they asked him on the Breakfast Club was like, "Oh, what do you say to the people that may have an issue with you not being from the US but playing this role?" And he said, "I listen to them."
Amazing answer.
And I'm like,
that's what you can do.
Give this Donny his flowers immediately, just from that line.
Yeah, round up all the flowers we gave to all our girlfriends for Valentine's. Give it to him.
Give him all the fucking roses.
Yeah, give it to him,
bro. Because that is the perfect response.
Yeah.
I'm not from here, so I'm gonna listen to what you people have to say.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
But it's not gonna stop me from playing this role. It's just gonna give me more context. Insight to where you guys are coming from and where the gripe is.
Seriously, and embody this role. I do like I said, I do like how he handled that question, how he handled the question about Lakeith. It wasn't a question like Charlemagne was making cheeky jokes about Lakeith, like saying that, I think, what did he say? He wasn't surprised that Lakeith played the role so well, innit? Kind of alluding that he feels like my man's got a little bit of that coon energy in him, innit? And Kaluuya, they laughed and joked, but he just nipped it in the bud and defended him and said, nah, Donnie was going through it. Like, his politics don't align with the Willie ONeil character. Like, on set, it was a struggle for a minute. So, and it's a stark contrast to when Lakeith Stanfield was on Clubhouse and
moaning in rooms for $300.
He was in moan rooms for one. He was in a room where he let his white friend troll black people.
Wait.
I'll explain to you what a moan room is after. Not that I know that well.
Man's lucky that camera's not on me, bro. Because you saw my face.
H's face was like, what?
He said a moan room?
The fuck is that, bro?
Like, moaning as in complaining, like...
No, I won't imitate, but they were moaning in there. Niggas in there beating their meat moaning.
What is the beat that your meat moan different to getting neck moan?
I don't want to go down this dark. I don't feel comfortable.
There's different types of moans, bro. What kind of moan do you mean?
Pineapples. I'm not comfortable.
The moans come in different tiers, bro.
Is that your safe word?
Yeah, that's my safe word. I don't know where you go. Puff puff. That's my safe word. But yeah, no. So yeah, stark contrast to how Lakeith responded to the question about Daniel when he's in like the ADOS rooms and they were having their big song and dance about that. He didn't defend my man really, just straddled the fence and was trying to act like, oh yeah, I thought I was going to play it. But in all the interviews I've seen, he had a Hot 97 interview, had an interview with Van Lathan. He was clear that no, I was never in the running to play Fredhampton. I just read the script, got excited and thought I was, but it was never offered to me. I was always playing this person, innit? It was just more of like a disappointment thing, but he was never in the running. Daniel didn't steal the role from him or like network behind the scenes with people. No, it was, this is who they wanted to play, and you actually bodied it. And funny and weirdly enough, he actually looks like Willie ONeil in real life a little bit.
Okay.
No,
does he?
No, he does. I'll pull up Willie ONeil, and he says it himself. Lakeith says, it's mad. I kind of look a little bit like Donnie as well. He actually looks like him, you know. So
shout out to Lakeith, man.
Yeah, no, he killed his role, like, and Kaluuya killed his role. Even the girl that plays Fredhampton's missus in it, fairly decent job as well.
I saw her panties getting wet when he was speaking.
Relax, bro.
When he was delivering that first speech, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna pam. They're gonna pam, bro. Yeah.
But there is something to be said about woke niggas. They're gonna be getting pussy still on the low.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What?
It's not even on the low, bro.
It's not even on the low.
Have you not seen how many pastors be pamming the congregation? I need to lay my hands on the sick.
We've both fucking watched Greenleaf.
Yeah, man, they're spreading that good gospel via their penis and that. I can't believe it, bro.
Listen, I'm telling you,
the juxtaposition of being a man of the cloth here and you're pamming the congregation, bro.
Bruv, niggas are the most strategic when it comes to the pissoir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about strategic positioning last week. We need to talk about the random strategic positioning when it comes to debauchery.
Yeah, bro, like, you think these poetry niggas aren't fucking pamming these babes?
Hey, he's got. Whatever you drank today, drink that shit every week. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Like,
Well,
it don't matter the type of guy you are. Yeah. The methods are the methods, innit?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you're woke done, you're gonna apply some type of strategy. If
There's
you're
a game plan. There's a good
there's a game plan, bro.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Yeah. So don't think that this Donny is better than the other Donny just because he's doing certain things.
Yeah, because their man's approach is different. They lead with Empress, Queen.
Grand Rising Queen.
Nigga, you just like us.
Say Grand Rising.
Yeah. I want to show you my Grand Rising.
Yeah.
He has risen.
One thing I will say though, leading on to the soundtrack a little bit more, and obviously the one that took the headlines was Nipsey and Jay.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Do you have it there?
Yes.
Yeah, have you heard it? You can give
I
H a little
haven't
bit.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit in a second. But it was good to see that Jay corrected the line where he got a bit of flack for. So on
What was
Watch
the
the Throne, Murder to Excellence, he said, I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died, yeah.
Yeah.
And he got flack for that because
he didn't die.
what do you mean? Like
was
you're saying it like
executed.
he just
He
died.
was assassinated.
He was assassinated. And obviously in this song now, he uses the same line. I arrived on the day Fred Hampton got, and he's like, well, actually assassinated.
Yeah.
So it was good to see that.
He killed his verse, bro.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and Nipsey sound amazing together. Like it just makes sense. You know, like Jay's has moments where like he sounds really good with Ross. He's had moments where he sounds amazing with Jeezy.
Yeah.
Like amazing. Like I think them two make in terms of like people he collaborates with, they've made some of the best music for me personally.
It's the feel, man.
Yeah,
I think it's the respect as
Pusha.
well. That if there's an artist that you fuck with and respect, then I think they're probably gonna go the extra mile to kind of make sure that I bring my A game.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
That's how music, you know, is being done. Where it feels like we'll play a bit of it.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to Nipsey, man, it pisses me off.
Man, you didn't even give the J verse. That's showing you how crazy that song is.
Yeah.
I said all the weed good, all the pussy feels tight.
Yeah.
I said, look at the proceeds of rap music on my wrist.
It's peak.
Yeah, he sounded.
It's peak.
I don't understand. I'm not saying certain niggas can die, but someone else could have gone instead of him, bro.
That's what you're saying, bro.
Sorry. I apologize for not being a straight shooter this week. Kill someone else, man. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, it's mad.
How, bro? It doesn't
Do you
make
know
no
what?
sense,
I'm gonna
bro.
run the J verse.
Man said Scorpion bricks way before Aubrey's double disc.
You know what? He's an unnecessary rare.
Yeah.
Bro, man, and
Bro,
the
you already
flow.
won. You're in the house with Beyonce. Why the fuck you still rapping, bro? You won already.
That well.
He can say that.
Yeah.
No one else can say that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what?
crazy song.
And the thing is that like I was saying that I know that this is gonna take all the headlines, yeah, but everyone performed on this tape.
Standout songs for me: Hit Boy, Kills his song, and I love Sir's song called Teach Me.
Sir can't do nothing wrong in my eyes.
Yeah,
Like I'm sorry, bruv. Like
catch me on a right day. Robe, nothing underneath.
Nas,
Bonnet, candles, and R&B playing in the
Yeah.
house, bro.
Nas,
That's when I'm at my happiest.
Nas has got a tough joint on there.
Yeah, Nas' song's cold as well.
EPMD, Black Thought. These are like the
He's
elder
not
statesmen of
gonna
hip hop.
not rap well, innit?
Yeah, these are the elder statesmen of hip hop that are still delivering.
Yeah. The people that they said, I think I saw a list that people would have maybe have liked to seen. Chicago natives,
I mean,
Fiasco,
Lupe Fiasco on there.
People like Talib Kweli, just like a certain maybe like
Common in them dons.
Common, or even Killer Mike,
Mm.
and then someone like a David Banner. People that over the last maybe 5 or 10 years have been making politically, socially conscious,
Aligned,
socially
yeah.
aware music. It kind of aligns more with, and those are people also who rap really well, and I believe that would have delivered. If Killer Mike had a 16 on there, we would be quoting it right now. If David Banner was on there, we'd be quoting it right now. I have no qualms to say Fiasco, Kweli would have delivered as well. So obviously they pick who they want to pick. It's up to them.
Yeah.
But I do understand certain people when they like, that those people that sounded good on there would have made sense.
Masego's on a song featuring JID and Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Lil Durk from Chicago.
Yeah.
BJ the Chicago Kid. G Herbo had a song
Cold
on
song.
here that was cold.
Yeah. Cold song from G Herbo. I was surprised.
Revolutionary featuring Bump J.
I was
Dom
surprised.
Kennedy, sorry. A$AP Rocky was a bit of a one that was like,
I saw that and I was like, get this lean. Love of his life. Off the album.
Let him live, man.
Let him live, man.
but,
live A$AP.
Yeah, so Judas and the Black
And the
Messiah. That's the
I want you to finish it
soundtrack.
properly and like we can have a proper
absolutely,
chat.
absolutely.
But I know you get the gist of, we all know the story. One thing I did want to lead on to, I don't know if it was in the Breakfast Club interview or the Van Lathan one. So there was part of the reason why, aside from Kaluuya being British, where there's a little bit of misgivings, was I think he'd had an interview before they kind of asked him about like race, and people weren't happy with the response he gave. So I wanted to ask the question: how do we feel about black people skipping, in inverted commas, the convo around race? So someone kind of asked him what is his opinions on race, what's going on. He's like, yo, I'm here to get my stuff. This thing predates me. It's my lived experience. I'm quoting him verbatim here. Talk to the white people type of thing, innit?
Yeah, don't talk to me about it.
I wasn't mad at that as a response. I wanted to ask like how like we felt possibly in regards to like black people being in entertainment, being in like when the light shone on them, and maybe not answering the question how we may feel is the best way to answer the question. If I've not jumping on my words too much here, and you get me.
I don't know. Like, is this something that you're always asked to discuss?
I mean, if you play certain roles, like maybe he has, then yeah. And also, like, I think we're in heightened times. George Floyd, BLM, like,
yeah,
it's going to be very difficult for that not to be brought up in some capacity, whether that's from our people directly, or if you're on like mainstream.
So what was your question asking? How do we feel about skipping it?
Yeah, how do we feel about someone going, you know what, like just not even having a conversation on there, going, shout out to the whites, that's on y'all.
There's a book.
I wouldn't really call that, sorry bro, I wouldn't call that skipping a conversation, so to speak. It's more highlighting something.
I'm being a bit salacious with my question, innit? But
yeah, it's like with that you highlighted a lot of conversation that may need to be had. Do you get me? But I can imagine it's probably taxing, but even though it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, but it's taxing to try and do your run. But then with, for example, he's on his press run, and I don't know whether that is a short answer or an answer that may make more sense.
And let me give you background. So he'd been asked about it previously, and that was his kind of response at the time. So he then got asked about it again, and I don't know if Van's got the clip, but he basically was saying that, like, you got a clip, Van?
Yeah.
You want to run it? because like I don't think I'm explaining it massively well for you, but I think this will give a bit more of a background to what he's thinking.
Now, you had talked a little bit before about feeling like maybe we talked a little bit too much about race. And you had said that you view yourself as a human, as Daniel, who happens to be black. I wonder if in any way playing Fred Hampton or immersing yourself into the Panthers or anything like that changed that perception at all, or in any way molded or shaped how you looked at the black experience in America?
I think what it is, Van, you can turn anything into anything if you take it out of context.
Oh, okay, word.
You feel me? And so the people where that went, and it was the people that wrote that didn't sit down with me. They didn't meet me. In that conversation, I was saying, I actually said that. I love black people. Why are you asking someone that loves black people why people don't like black people? Did that go viral, man? Did that go out there? Did they click that?
Not.
Yeah.
Of course it not.
No. Of course it didn't. So if I'm saying it, the sentiment of that point, and to be honest, I'll look up to myself and I look, you know what it taught me the importance of articulation and the specificity of articulation. And sometimes you learn that in the field.
The
specificity. It's not something that you can be taught. And so, but then what the sentiment of that is blackness and racism are not synonyms to me. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when white people are sitting me down and asking me, yo, how can I figure out this racism stuff? Why are you asking me? I'll tell you a story, yeah? I'll tell you this now. We've got time. We've got a bit of time. I'll tell you this story, yeah? I'm going to say it. They always cut it from every interview. And this was in the same interview. In the same interview. I'll tell you this story, yeah? All right, Rachel, yeah? Give me an old lady's name.
Mabel.
All right, Mabel. Mabel's there chilling. 2:30 a.m. Mabel's chilling now. Boom, she hears a noise. She's like, what's that noise? What's going on? Mabel wakes up. Yo, boom, sees the window open, puts the light on, all her been taken. She's like, what the my been taken? Boom, she calls the police. Yo, I've been robbed. I lost my stuff. They said, we're coming away. The police come, these two police officers, one black, one white. They're like, yo, Mabel, what's happened? Mabel, what happened? Because I woke up 2:30 in the morning, my stuff got taken. Her stuff got taken, cool. All right, cool, we're going to take you to the police station. We're going to ask you more questions. Okay, cool, I just want my stuff back. She goes there, she goes and gets her stuff to the police station. She's in the lobby waiting, goes, Mabel, there's been a lot of robberies tonight. We're going to put you to another space to wait, and we're going to speak to you. Cool. They put Mabel in a cell. He was like, that's a bit weird. I'm in a cell. That's a bit weird. All right, cool, let me chill. This is that and the other. Cool, boom, 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 bam. She's in the cell there, chilling. 2-3 hours go by. Boom. The thing, they go, yo, Mabel, we're ready for you. They take Mabel into the interrogation room. They put the recorder on and they go, Mabel, tell us why you got robbed. Mabel has a decision in that situation. She can come to two conclusions. I see it, Rachel and Van. She comes to two conclusions. She's even going, you guys, you police officers, are very at your job, or you don't want to solve the crime. You feel me? Because you're never going to ask the person that's the victim of the crime why the crime happened. You're going to go out there and figure out and find the person who did it. And when you find the person who did it, you're not going to ask them why, because robbers rob. That's what they do. So I'm sitting there in this interview, impacted by racism, and they're asking me why it's happened. I came in this game in '89. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm educating myself and understanding I can articulate it. And when I articulate why, they're still asking me questions. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, so now Mabel's going to be there, listen, you guys don't know what the you're doing. I'm going to go out there, call my grandsons, and we're going to make it happen. I'm going to get my stuff back. I'm here to get my stuff.
There you go.
So, yeah. I think he explained it a bit better.
I mean, he explained it very well.
Yeah. I'm here to get my stuff, bro.
I have nothing to say. He said everything that needs to be said.
Because I think Vans are going to say, we'll talk about the book, like, why I'm no longer talking to
white people about race.
But I understand it's like, I can only judge off maybe your tone, your intention, you know, how well I know you, if you really mean well, you ask me these questions. But for a lot of the time, you're bullshitting me, you're gaslighting me. You know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like, actions and deeds, innit? Not lip service. Like, go out and mash your work. So at the end of the day, we jump on our black power stuff, and yes, the black melanin guard, all this stuff, where in this country, a very small percentage. If we're going to really fix these problems, we're going to need a few more white people on board. You ain't going to drive, but you on board, you know? So you don't know what you need to do, so do it if you're really about this change, innit? If you want us to have a better society.
I feel that.
If you really view me as your equal, as your human being. Because even him, he was talking about even the concept of like white supremacy and wording that way. No white person is above me or supreme to me. It's call it for what it is. They even have a white privilege in it, how we describe them. You're a terrorist organization. You're not white supremacists. You know, so I think he's I don't know if it's all come from him playing this role or it's prior, whatever the case may be. I just like the frequencies on and how he's kind of maneuvered these interviews. So
shout outs to Kaluuya, man, because he's in interviews like really giving you that London
he's
source.
being himself.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man's like, alright,
Oh,
boom.
yeah, I observed that still.
Boom,
I like that.
So listen, Van, boom. So and we get it because it's a certain pace we talk at, innit?
And it's nice to see because like it doesn't mean that you have to change the way that you know
you are essentially
like who you are. This is who you are. But within this, like he's basically showing that we have the abilities to articulate ourselves regardless of how we speak.
And you can make a misstep, like you said.
Yes.
Because he owned up that maybe in that interview he suffered from maybe not articulating himself well. But now, just to set the record straight, let's clear it all up. And I like the fact they allowed him and said they cut it before, let's keep
do
it
your
all
thing. And it weren't even a thing of like, oh yeah, you know, like we can't understand his accent. No, like man are saying everything that you know needs to be said, and he's saying it in a way that everyone can understand.
I'm here to get my stuff, bro. That's it.
I like that.
It's that simple, bro.
That's it. So yeah, man, we'll get to see how this does. The entire cinema world or film obviously has been affected by this global pandemic, so we're not watching movies in the same way that we would, you know, like this would be a lovely movie to go and watch in the cinema rather than in your house.
Yeah.